Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Dr. Collins with the Diversion Center, here to talk to you guys about the red flags you may encounter when doing evaluations. As you guys know, we're in the court mandated space, and some of our clients, you know what? They lie. As a matter of fact, they lie all the time. One of the reasons why they're lying is because they don't want to do treatment, they don't want to do classes, they don't want to pay any extra money. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are watching this today, I want you guys to know that lying just comes with the territory. And it's your job to evaluate them and get the details from their case to figure out what's going on with them. So, you're going to judge their criminal history, their alcohol and drug use history. You're going to look at their mental health history. Their substance use history. You're gonna look at everything and you're gonna get a whole picture of what's going on with them. But unfortunately, some of our clients love to lie. And here are some of the red flags that I will encounter during an evaluation. So red flag that I can think of right now is when they say, I do not recall. When I hear that word, I do not recall, I'm like, yeah. Matter of fact, I hate that word right now because we hear it a lot. But I hear that word, I do not recall. They're thinking, they're minimizing, because certain things I might ask them are very simple things, but it's amazing to me how they do not recall certain instances, certain situations, especially very meaningful events in their lives. Okay, so that's a red flag number one. I'm like, oh, you're starting to lie, and I'll keep it to myself. I won't like put them on blast during an evaluation, but I'll have it in my mental Rolodex to remember. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me ask certain questions. Let's figure this thing out, because that do not recall statement charges a red flag for me. Okay, so what else? Also, I respect it, but sometimes when they come to the evaluation, extra proper, yes, sir, I actually appreciate it. But when someone's trying too hard to paint a perfect picture of themselves, that lets me know that there's something going on. How do I describe this? They may say, I don't drink at all. I don't drink, I don't do this, I don't do that. I barely drink. I'm like, sir, ma'am, I didn't ask you that. I asked you, what age did you start drinking alcohol? I'm not an alcoholic, I'm not this, I'm not that. And they used to have this big old story that I did not even ask for. They have this big explanation that I didn't even ask about. Like, I didn't ask you for that. I just asked you a simple question. What age did you start drinking alcohol? Well, I'm not an alcoholic. I only drink on the weekends. Matter of fact, I only drink socially. And they give me this long story of why they're not an alcoholic, why they don't drink. And it's like, hold on, you're here for a possession of marijuana charge. You're here for a possession of cocaine charge, and you're just going ham, being explicit about why you do not drink alcohol and why you don't have an alcohol problem, when I just simply asked you, what age did you start drinking? That's all I asked. I didn't ask you if you're alcoholic. I didn't ask you how often do you drink. I just asked you, what age did you start drinking? And they have this long story. By the way, that's another red flag. When they just start talking and have these stories, of why they don't belong here and why they're being set up and all this other stuff, or why the state is the problem. They're in Georgia, so they need to move to another state because they don't have these other problems in other states, and Georgia is behind. You're going to hear that a lot, where people are going to come to you and say, hey, I just need to move. No, that you're Your location does not determine your destination, okay? Your input controls your output. So when they have stories, when they have long rants, that's letting me know that something's going on. Also, you're looking at their criminal history. You're looking at their history to decide, hold on, what's going on? If they have battery charges, possession charges, multiple DUIs, you'll have people come to you with multiple DUIs that just claim that they don't have a problem. Like, I ain't got a problem, but yet you got 3 DUIs. Why am I doing treatment? Why do I gotta do treatment? Sir, you got 3 DUIs. This is why when I do anger management evaluations, it's very important for me to have the police report, okay? I wanna get a copy of the police report, because when you guys are doing anger management evaluations, people are going to minimize. They're gonna have their story, and I like to look at the narrative report from the police report to see what the police had to say, and then I let the client write down what happened during that night or the day that they were arrested. I want to see the client story. I want to see the police officer story, and then I'm going to make a decision based off my assessment tools that I'm going to use, and their interview that I have with them. So it's very important that you guys understand to look at everything, okay? Because when you're doing an evaluation, you want to be able to justify why you're giving this person treatment. You're just not giving people treatment. Like, if they don't meet the DSM-5 criteria and they don't have any issues going on, then they're not going to get anything. I know some people believe that everybody should get something. I'm not one of those people, okay? You can refer people to, a low-level class, like a 1-day class or a 2-day class, ASAM 0.5 or something like that. But then there's those people that need, a higher level of care, level 1, intensive outpatient treatment, residential treatment. Be mindful and pay attention to what your clients are saying, and do not do any favors, okay? It will come back to bite you, okay? No favors. You have to be just neutral or indifferent. You're going to have people that you evaluate that you really like. You're gonna love their personality. They're gonna have charisma, very charismatic, but at the same time, sorry, these are the facts. This is what's going on, and you have to make a recommendation, because your reputation is on the line. I'm gonna tell you guys something. Protect your reputation at all costs. Your reputation will help you make more money. I get so many clients just because of my reputation. So you want to protect your reputation. You want to do good work. You want to be that evaluator that's fast, but also on point and efficient. You do not want to have people chasing you down for your evaluations. You don't want the probation chasing you down. You don't want clients chasing you down. You do not want attorneys chasing you down. You want to get your stuff done in a fast, timely manner. Okay. Also, some other red flags. Clients that just ain't got their stuff together. You're like, how old are you? What's going on? Why are you living with your mama at this age? Why are you jumping from job to job? Why are you unemployed? Why are you inconsistent? Why your finances are in shambles. Now, granted, a lot of people go through these things, but you're putting everything together, okay? And you're combining all the facts, all the data to make a recommendation, okay? Because at certain ages and certain periods in your life, now granted, people do go through stuff. I get that. Shoot, we all go through stuff. Hey, I'm not perfect. I go through stuff myself. There's times where I'm not financially stable, right? But when you have the combination of financial instability, the combination of always getting locked up, getting in trouble, the combination of extensive drug use, substance use, problems with the law, battery charges, reckless driving charges, possession charges, failure to maintain employment. These are signs that there could be something going on. Also, mental health disorder in combination with everything. Also, a history of abuse. You know, we got to think about that ACEs score. Okay, we got to look at the ACEs. Okay, so put all that stuff together to make a recommendation to try to help them so they don't come back to your office. Because my goal for all of my clients is for them to never come back. I don't want you guys to come back. I always tell them, my goal is for you to get the evaluation, complete treatment, and never come back. Meaning, never get arrested again, never go through the criminal justice system again, and never have to work with someone like me and my staff again. That's the goal, okay? So when you guys are doing this work, make sure that that is your goal, because it's very important that they leave your program a better person, because I'm the result of someone giving me a second chance. You know, I've been through the diversion program myself years ago, about 20 years ago. I went through the diversion program myself. Someone gave me a second chance. I took it and I ran with it. Okay? So I'm all about paying it forward and helping other people get a second chance. Okay? Because unfortunately, a lot of providers just look at people like, oh, we're gonna make money off of them. That's not what's up. I don't support that. We want to see change, okay? We wanna help them get better. We wanna help them move on with their life. And I want them to come back to me and say, hey, you know, Dr. Collins, I got this business. I didn't start it. I got married now. I'm successful. I'm doing X, Y, Z. Thank you so much. That's the only time I want them to come see me back. Okay? That's the only time I want them to see me again. So, very important that you guys do good work, recognize the red flags. I hope this video helps you. If you guys want to get training on how to provide court-mandated classes and evaluations, hey, contact my team. There's going to be a description below this video that will tell you the next steps. But I hope this helps, and do not be afraid of this work. This is awesome work. I love it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.